Earlier in the broadcast, you heard from Governor Beshear on the flooding in eastern Kentucky. During that briefing, Beshear also talked about continuing efforts to legalize medical cannabis in Kentucky. He says public meetings around the state prove that Kentuckians overwhelmingly want legal medical marijuana.
Stories have gone from examples. These aren't stories. These are people who have gotten up and shared their pain. Mothers whose children have seizures, to veterans dealing with PTSD.
Jared Bonwell of Falmouth is one of those veterans. He talked to us about why medical marijuana is the answer for him and other Kentuckians in pain.
In 2007, I was deployed to Iraq, and it was kind of a rough time over there. When I came back, things just weren't the same. I went to a doctor, and I got put on a PTSD medication. I started going through a little bit of counseling. Thought things were okay, but more medications getting put on top of that, and then I get a short notice deployment for a year to Afghanistan. Come back to the States, things weren't going well, and then the liquor started. I was drinking half a gallon of wild turkey every 2 days, taking about 13 different medications. I was miserable. There wasn't a day that I woke up that I didn't want to put a bullet in my head. And I'm working one day and I'm just not doing well. And this guy looks at me, he's like, man, look, he's like, you need to just smoke a little weed. And I'm like, what? Like, you're out of your mind. Like, I don't just want to get stoned. He's like, no, trust me, you got to just try it. So I tried it and I sat down, I took one puff, man, one little puff. And this feeling of calm came over me. And I felt like I could breathe for once. I ended up moving to a state that had a medicinal marijuana program, and the difference was night and day. I mean, I dropped every single medication I was on. My mother looked at me, she says, you've got life back in your eyes.
Really?
I've lost track of how many people that I've worked with and dealt with that are still drinking every night, taking pills every night, and not very happy. I'm hoping that my story can allow people to see that there is another side of things. This is about life and well-being. But the side effects from pharmaceuticals are just hands down absolutely some of the worst that you can even imagine. Cannabis, when used correctly, it doesn't have any of those side effects. We've turned medicine into a business. And I don't see anything in the Constitution or our Declaration of Independence that states a government should be able to control my health. Anything can be abused, but to make a law where things can't be used in a positive way to help somebody is just counterintuitive to what this nation and our country was founded upon. I really don't want Kentucky to turn this into just trying to get a ton of tax dollars. I want it focused on patients. They need to make it affordable. The taxes have to remain low. They need to allow a patient to be able to grow a certain amount of plants. To do that, you might have to $15-20 and stuff versus going to the store and paying $1,000 to somebody that is just trying to make money. It shouldn't be any different than any other agricultural crop for an individual. If they allow individual cultivation, that will prove to me that they care about medical patients.